Hi guys, welcome to Caitlin hasn't made a video in a while, so she's gonna make one. And I'm gonna talk about Newsies because that's the only thing that's been happening in my life. I say that out loud and now realize how immensely sad that is. As I've told you guys before, I'm playing Race, and Race is a very fun character to play so far. He is very carefree and I need to be more carefree, and it's really fun being carefree. The only scene that I have been in that we've completely blocked out and sung out and stuff is Act 1, Scene 1, which is the carrying the banner scene. It was very fun leaning on the distribution counter really awkwardly hey. I'm pretty sure Blake knows this. I don't know about the rest of you guys. The prominent character feature of Race is that he smokes. If you're wondering why I've been holding this little beef stick, it's because this is my cigar. At least one of my cigars. Wednesday, I went to our director who's kind of in charge of props, Van, and I told him, hey, I was wondering when we were going to get Race's cigars because I want to be able to get used to them and be able to play around with it before, a week before the show. He was like, yep, I get that. Well, I'll get him in as soon as possible. And then he walked me through all of the different choices that we had for cigars. Said that we can't use a real cigar because when you inhale, when a real cigar is in your mouth, it gets in your lungs. It kept saying, well, I've been told, people have told me, I've heard, I've read. And I stopped him at one point and I said, Van, you realize the more that you say that you've heard or you've read and not experienced, it sounds like you're trying to say that you've experienced and not heard and read and seen and stuff. He just kind of stopped and laughed. Friday, I didn't have to be at practice, but I had to be at practice because that was when the cigars were in. This is like a little beef teriyaki stick. I have a bag of 20 of these and they're my cigars for now at least. I don't know if we're gonna get something different. I think the other choice we had was a real fake cigar that doesn't have tobacco in it. So after practice on Friday, Van and I were just standing on stage and he was giving me lessons and how to hold the cigar and where to put it in my mouth. Gotta put it right here, her cigar side. Van was trying to get me to talk with the teriyaki stick in my mouth on Friday. When you do that, it gives you a terrible wisp. You can't hold it too close to the end because it would burn you. There's a little teriyaki residue on the corner of my mouth because I've been playing with it this weekend. Just trying to get used to holding it and getting used to moving around with it, which is why I'm moving my hand so much. It's I need to develop a divot between these two fingers so I can hold it during all of the dance breaks and all of the songs. One of my friends was off stage when Van and I were on stage when I was getting cigar practice, and she was filming the whole thing, and at one point Van noticed her and asked her if it was for the cast video, and she was like, oh yes it is, and he was like, oh no it's not, and I was like, oh yes it is. And I was going to talk about another thing, which is Race's backstory. But I need to talk about something else before I talk about Race's backstory. So in carrying the banner, there's a few parts where it splits into Group 1 and Group 2. Group 1 gets the nice fun melody that everyone knows and loves. And Group 2, which is the one I'm in, has this weird pseudo rap thing, which I'm going to attempt to sing for you. I don't know it yet. I was stalking at the circus and then someone told me corny's really hot, but when I got there, there was Spot with all his cronies. Heck, I'm gonna take what little dough I got and play the ponies. We all least deserves a headline for the hours that they work us. Geez, I bet if I stayed a little longer at the circus. That's kind of the notes, not really the notes. He was told, with all his bros, oh, go to Coney Island. Did I say corny? I may have said corny. Go to Coney Island and sell your papes and you'll get a lot of stuff. But when we all got there, Spot Colin was there, and Spot Colin's from Brooklyn, and we're just Brooklyn. We don't like Brooklyn. They're kind of scary. All of Race and all of his bros decided to go to the circus and bet on, well, not the circus, go to the horse races and bet on race ponies and see if they can win. That's essentially what it means. Wednesday night I did a little research into how old Race was supposed to be, a few of his major personality traits that aren't totally obvious in the show. So I learned a few things. One of them is Race is supposed to be anywhere between 16 and 19 years old. I'm probably going to play him on the younger side because I am 16 and it's easier to play someone that's your own age, really. Couldn't imagine that. The other important thing that I learned was Race would go and bet on horse races and gamble a lot. So I decided that my Race has a few personality traits that I quite enjoy. So on the surface, he's like super carefree, like, oh my word, I'm the king of New York, who cares about all that stuff? And then in the back of his mind, he refuses to acknowledge this, but he's just a little OCD. So like, he's the kind of person who he's like walking around doing his thing, and then if he notices someone's hat is just a little bit crooked, he's the kind of person who would just like fix it for him and then go back on doing his thing. And also in the back of his mind, this one's louder than the OCD part, he's just like, I'm in so much debt, I've gambled all of my money away, which is why he's selling papers so he can pay off all his debt. But yeah, that has been my week. That is really, Newsies has been my week, and it will be my life for the next, 3 months. I really just wanted to show off my little teriyaki stick, because it's fun. I will see you all next time I see you. I don't know when that'll be.